Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I am so excited to share today's video with you because it's a format of a video I've never done before, and I thought what a perfect day it would be on Mother's Day to share the real life things that bring me absolute joy in my life. If you're new here, my name is Nicholsen. I love to share all things homemaking, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. And if you're returning, it is so great to see you on this beautiful Sunday. All right, guys, let's jump into this beautiful day. So this particular week, we are back in school. Things are just we're in that routine. The kids are getting very excited for summer. My husband was traveling all week, so I was a solo parent. This video happens to be filmed yesterday on Saturday, and he was coming home around 5 o'clock this evening. We were all very much looking forward to that because we all missed him, but I wanted to get breakfast done. I do a rather large breakfast spread every Saturday morning. It happens to be just kind of a tradition I love to do. The kids are still asleep. I want to say it's like 7 o'clock. I'm not sure exactly what time it is, but it is pretty early in the morning. I wanted to get breakfast started. That way when they woke up, everything was kind of ready to go. And while they're eating, I can kind of move throughout my day. So it is going to be about 85 degrees today. It's very warm. Our pool is heated. And I had some activities to keep the kids screen free today. And I'm going to actually show you many parts of my day that I don't typically share. So typically in a video, my format is either a day in the life, so little things I tackle around the house that are very specific to being a parent and or a homemaker, or I do, morning routine, night routine, cleaning, organizing, things where I don't ever show my kids. And there's very particular reason for that. But there is a huge part of my day that you guys don't actually see. And oftentimes I get comments down below about how I need more balance and I need to have my kids help with things. And I will tell you, balance in my life is something that I feel like I have mastered quite well. Typically a video is about 2 hours of actual videoing that I edit down to about 25 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. And that leaves many, many hours to accomplish many other things. So I wanted to share a little bit about the cadence of a day, like a Saturday as a mom with 4 children, and how I balance enjoying as much time with them as possible, some of the tips and tricks and hacks that I use to create screen-free fun for them, and also how I'm able to accomplish things like a rather large breakfast. We're going to go in and do a huge project in the garden today. We're going to play in the pool with the kids. I also am going to do just a little craft with the girls. I love Miniverse. I think they're so much fun, so we're going to do that. And I'm going to take you along with me so you can get a better idea of what it is like being a mom of 4 and the parts of it that I love and look forward to the most while maintaining my household. So since I have a lot going on next week, I want to sit down while my pancakes are cooking away. We've got sausage and bacon in the oven, and I'm also making some oatmeal for one of my kids who absolutely loves it. So I wanted to get my plan together. I don't use a fancy planner anymore. I mean, I do love them, but I always go back to just my regular homemade planner. I'll show you what it looks like, but basically at the beginning of the week, I will put the date range at the top, Monday through Sunday, put all the appointments I have and what's going on, and then I do projects and tasks, and that's what I refer to all week to kind of keep myself balanced and get all the things done that I need to get done. That's all it takes. And then what I like to do on the remaining pages is I'll do like Monday, everything that goes on. If I don't fill the page, I'll put Tuesday below it. Some days it takes up the whole page. If I have meetings, I always put them on those pages so I can refer back to them as needed. And I can go through 6 months in one of these notebooks. I will try to remember to link it down below because it is my absolute favorite notebook. It's the only thing I've used. I probably have about 8 of these here in my office that I've used over the years. Like even old jobs that I've had, I still have my planner, and I've always used this method. You can also do a printable. I always have a free printable on my website, so if you want to check that out, It's whatever you like. I've also tried Notion and other things to kind of keep myself, prioritize all of my tasks and whatnot. But I will tell you, I'm a very tactile person. I have found, like, when I garden, I don't like having gloves on. I like to handwrite all of my notes. I don't really like using the computer for that, but find the method that speaks most to you and use that as a great way to reset over the weekend to get yourself prepared. So when Monday comes and we have to get back into the game of life, we have a really great plan. I always find that helps me prioritize all of the things I have going on. I wanted to do a nice spread of fruit, especially since this weekend, next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I will be traveling out of town. So I will need to kind of like cook through everything that's in the refrigerator. I already made 3 different meals in the freezer for my husband to pull out with the kids and things like that. Even though he's a phenomenal cook, I just wanted to make it super easy with the kids and stuff. So we have that going on, but I wanted to get through this fruit because I was afraid if I left the house and it was still in there, it may not get eaten. So we don't want anything to go to waste, and whatever goes to waste goes to the chicken. So I guess it's not really a waste, but we're going to get all of that on the table. And then I also have a weekend list. I usually do on just like a regular sheet of paper of just things I wanted to do. And one of the things I wanted to get done today, I went to the store and got some peppers that I wanted to get in the garden. The peppers need a lot of heat and time. It's a 96 days for the plants to mature, and I wanted to get them in the ground before I left town. Immediately when I come back, we are going to plant tomatoes, but I was a little bit nervous of planting all of that and then leaving town and something happening. So I want to spend a little time out in the garden right after I get done with the crafts with the kids before it gets hot. And just to tell you, it's going to be later in this video, but I absolutely gutted the garden. I went nuts. Yet again, I go in there for one task, but ended up doing something totally different. I will be sharing that as well in this video. I was trying to do it myself and I couldn't, so I had to call for some backup, but it turns out amazing. I am so excited to share that with you. But for now, let's get breakfast on the table. I'm also going to be unboxing my Wildgrain for the week. It's another kind of thing where when I think about things that I want to do with my time, I'm not a great baker. I share that in these videos all the time. And I really love the idea of having like fresh bread, croissant, and cookies and things like that. I'm not a baker. One of my kids is a baker and she'll be baking cookies with you guys in today's video. But I'm not a baker and I love Wildgrain, so I'll be sharing that with you as well. But for now, let's get breakfast on the table, get these babies fed, and then we're going to get into a very busy day. I don't know about you, but it is not a Sunday reset until my Wildgrain arrives. If you guys aren't familiar with Wildgrain, they are the first ever bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, artisanal pastries, and fresh pastas. I love that Wildgrain partners with small bakers and pasta makers across the country, keeping the tradition of artisanal and nutritious food alive. This week, I got a croissant loaf, I got a lemon biscuits, I got sourdough bread. I always get that's my favorite. They're amazing churned French butter, some rigatoni, which is going to be delicious, my favorite giant cookies, and I love the croissants. I love to smash them in my waffle maker. They are so good. These are the best cookies you'll ever have in your life. If you aren't familiar with Wildgrain Wildgrain, what makes them different is the amount of incredible food that they provide from you from real bakers, which I just think is incredible. I love that the sourdough is used with a slow fermentation, which is much easier on your belly. It's convenient, freezer to table in 25 minutes. You can build your own box with customizable things like seasonal, limited edition items, and then fitting your nutrition needs. So they have things like gluten-free, they have classic, you name it, they have it all. I also love that they donate 2 free meals to the Greater Boston Food Bank with every order. As many of you know, at the beginning of this year, I thought I was going to become a baker, and I will tell you, my grandmother is a phenomenal baker, but she doesn't love cooking. My mother was a phenomenal cook. She didn't like baking. And I'm afraid to say, I think I'm the same. I did start to try to make my own breads, and while they were very fun, they only lasted for about 2-3 days, and it didn't bring as much joy as I feel, let's say, hanging out in my garden. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to have fresh, beautiful pastas and breads for my family every single day, and Wildgrain gives me the ability to do that. Today, I enjoyed a little avocado toast on their croissant sandwich bread. Oh my goodness, this was incredible. I just got to sit outside, plan for my week ahead, and enjoy this artisanal bread. If you are like me and you want to enjoy artisanal bread, pastries, and pastas, please check the links down below or go to wildgrain.com/Lauren30 and enjoy $30 off your first box plus free croissant for life. I have to tell you, this allows me to enjoy all the things I love about baking without ever having to get my flour or any of my other baking supplies out. Thank you to Wildgrain. I want to thank Wildgrain for sponsoring today's video, and let's get on with our Sunday reset. I absolutely love this diffuser. Once a month, I need to change out the cartridge, but it smells so incredible, and it can carry over 1,000 square feet. If you want people to walk into your house and immediately say, not only is it so clean, because that's how we keep our homes, but also it smells so good, check that out. It's always linked down below. It is the luxury hotel scent, and it is so good. So I wanted to reset that. I was looking outside, the chickens were out there playing, and I just want to tidy. So most of the time, unless I have a giant like project to do, I will always sweep through the house and do a nice tidy of everything, and always keeping the home in rotation is a big thing that I like to do. It helps me stay stress-free and just keep things moving along and not piling up. So dishes, always something I want to get done. The kids are all sitting on the other side of this room, eating breakfast and watching cartoons, which is just such a wonderful, sometimes I listen to their cartoons. It reminds me of being a little kid, and it's just so calming. I have to tell you, like, it's one of my favorite things to just sit and enjoy when the kids are watching cartoons, laughing and eating breakfast on the floor or by the TV. It just reminds me so much of being a little kid. So they're doing that. I want to get everything from breakfast kind of tidied up here, cleaned up, so I can kind of move through my day. This particular day, I didn't have a lot of laundry, so we won't be hanging out in my least favorite part of the house, which is the garage where I do my laundry. But I do have 2 loads of dishes we're going to do together. So for now, we're going to do a 20-minute tidy where I'm going to start in the kitchen. I've got all of the dishes done from breakfast and things are tidied up in here. I want to pick up the living room. I want to go in and make my bed because, you know, that's one of my like little joys of life, is at the end of the day, coming into my room, turning the lights on, reading, and just going into a very well-made bed. I don't know what it is about that, but I've always really enjoyed it. I think there's a book about starting your day by making your bed. I think it's, anyway, it's a good book. I think one of my kids has it actually. But anyway, if I remember it, I'll link it down below. It's a really, really good book. So for me, it's these 20-minute tidies. Again, a lot of times with the comments down below, it's like you do too much. I don't think 20 minutes to tidy up, wiping down surfaces, kind of keeping yourself moving along, keeping your house tidy, not letting things build up is necessarily doing too much. I actually think that, again, it's these small little things that actually keep the house feeling calmer, cleaner, and just more organized. And again, that really reduces my stress. Today, I had an hour and a half to sit in the backyard while the kids were swimming, and I read my Kindle. Like, it was just the most lovely afternoon. At one point, my teenage son came out. We talked about some things that were going on in his life for about 20, 30 minutes. It was just a very, very calm day. And I will tell you that, again, just because I don't share all of those things are sometimes I consider to be very private. And it's very difficult to sit down and enjoy one-on-one time with your children if you have a camera rolling. I remember when I very first started on YouTube in 2020, I filmed a day in the life video with my kids. I've shared this before on my channel, but it's been a long time. And I remember like getting my girls dressed in matching dresses and making their hair perfect in the morning to come down and eat breakfast. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I would never do that. Like, even today, my girls came down, hair crazy, pajamas crazy, with like one sock on. They were living their best life, and that's what home is. Home is coming in, wearing your sweatpants. Just because filming and being a content creator is fun for me doesn't necessarily mean that it would be fun for everyone in my family. So for me, I remember that day and like telling the kids to smile, and like and I stopped myself immediately, and I was like, oh my God, this is not how I usually am around my children. And I cut the filming, and we just had breakfast together, and I never ever filmed them again. Even now, when I'm editing, that's why I never ever will have an editor for my YouTube channel, specifically because you don't know where that footage will end up. And I cannot tell you how many times a kid has walked through the filming with a bathing suit on, underwear on, no clothes. I got little ones, okay? This is life. And I never will have an editor specifically because I would never compromise their privacy for what I do here on YouTube. And I will say, like, for me, that the home and like what happens on this property for my children, this is their safe place. And what I remembered so much about that day and what stuck with me so much is, imagine if I had continued doing that and my kids started to perform for my channel for the benefit of what doesn't even really have anything to do with our lives, right? We're adults here on this channel talking about keeping a tidy home and finding peace and having routines, motivating each other, showing up for adult people. These are children. And what I feel like I accomplished in that one day, and I'm really grateful that I caught it so quickly. But what I realized is a lot of times, especially now that I have a teenager, and social media is a very prominent thing in these kids' lives, and what they see, they emulate, and then when people like it, it forms them. It tells them, it's the social cues, right? That tells them, oh, if you're this way, more people like you. And for me, having the kids in the house while filming and trying to put on a persona of perfection would make them think, potentially, I would hate to admit this, but what if they thought, well, the only way mommy will love me is if I act perfect or I'm acting at home. And so that was the root of the reasons why I have kept them off social media. And I'm 40, like, that's not life. That's not reality. I'm not over here thinking about what other people are doing, judging what they're doing. Do whatever you need to do. But for my kids, they're still in my care. And for me, that most important of anything is creating a safe, stable place for them to find themselves. Like, our job as parents right now is not to tell our kids who to be, it's to guide them into securely becoming who they are meant to be. If you have an artsy kid and you have a very smart athlete and you have a crazy feral child, let them all be different. It really doesn't matter. The point of being a parent is protecting and nurturing safety, helping them to fortify their own value system, teaching them the right and wrong, and really just giving your kids all the tools they need to grow into incredible people. And most importantly, that at the core of everything that's going to happen in their lives, they have your unconditional love and they know that you will always protect them. And as mothers, think of ourselves as the guardrails they put at the bowling alley when your kids are little. Our job is to try to teach them to make the right decisions, stay the course of life, and become great people. But not only that, sometimes we have to make decisions that don't just guide our kids today, we are guiding their future selves too. And I think that protecting our kids on social media should be something that we should all be doing. And I know I've talked about it a lot on my channel, but when I see a lot of comments about my kids, where are my children? Why are they not doing things? They are, but they have the right to privacy. And it's not our place as adults to have to exploit them for you to see what they do on their day-to-day. Their bedrooms are their private bedrooms. Their day-to-day activities and chores and life lessons are theirs. And when they want to share them and they want to open up about those things, that is their right. My job as a parent, as a content creator, has nothing to do with exploiting their lives. It's to protect them, and that is why they are not here on my channel. So this Mother's Day, much like you and I, as all of you are, many of you are gardeners and are loving that. Many of you have little kids. I love when I get comments from young moms because I've been there. I know what it's like. But today, much like these plants, nurture your children, protect them, let them grow into who they need to become. Don't burden yourself with perfection. Trust me, when you get older, you care less and less about what other people are doing. You care less and less about how it looks. You don't have to keep up with people on social media. I am going to say this. I do not care that other people show up on this platform sharing their life with their children. I don't care. I don't judge it. I think everybody needs to do what's right for them. But for me, this is what's right for me and my family. And if you are somebody who hasn't really thought past what is going on day to day, maybe do a quick audit on social media and how you are sharing your children, especially if you are a public social media facing person or a content creator. I would just say it's my Mother's Day plea that we all protect our kids beyond the day-to-day. It's their future selves too. And I apologize for the Mother's Day rant, but sometimes I see these comments and I find it rather frustrating that it would be of question that I would share my children here in any capacity past. You'll see hands from now to now. We'll call them signs of life, okay? But for the most part, and maybe you'll see me folding their laundry, I suppose. But for the most part, the fundamental part is that will never be part of this channel. And our children at I would say before 18, and perhaps maybe 21, have no idea the consequence of showing themselves on social media or being shown. I think we have all seen enough horror stories out there to know that this is not a place for children. So my Mother's Day plea is perhaps we should all take a closer look at how we are protecting our kids beyond just the day-to-day. Had a genius idea. I do feel bad, so I was just trimming this up, and I'm going to trim that one, and I just realized these are really beautiful and they're so well grown and established. I kind of feel bad suggesting this, but I think I'm going to tear these out and definitely clip back this tree, even though it's so beautiful. It does need to be trimmed back. Gosh, I wish we could move that rose bush. It's not possible. It'd be nice if it was over there, but if I took these out, I could probably get 2 birdie beds in these 2 spots and 2 big ones here, which gives me... Henry! Did you come to help garden? Huh? Yes, you're gonna get a little dirt bath in? Okay. I think we're gonna do that. I text the guys that usually help me with all my construction stuff to see if they have time to just rip this one out, rip that one out. We still have 2 other ones over here. We'll clean those up as well. Oh my goodness. These aren't very big and I think they look fine here. They just need to be shaped. I really want to cut some of these roses. Maybe this will be my roses for this week. Oh, okay. Or not. Oh, they're so good. It smells so good right here. All right. I'm going to keep trimming. I just thought I would take a moment and suggest that as a possible way to kind of fix this. It could be good. Okay. Teddy, I got some kitchen things for you to play pretend kitchen. We got a bowl. Look at these. You can fill them up.
Teddy, we should play restaurant.
Yeah. Look at all the things we have. You can fill these up with water and you can write on them and then watch it dry. And there's funnels in here. Okay. I'm gonna go sit over here and get a little work done. So fun. Oh, you guys gotta fill this one up with water.
Oh yeah.
For your painting. There you go. We've got all of our toys here. Hey, Mr. B, go away. The kids were pretending they had a little restaurant. There's the sensory tray. It's so much fun. Open all of this. So while the kids were playing outside, one of my other kids was inside making cookies. These are, again, typically things that are going on throughout the day that I just don't film. Again, I find it really, really difficult to be focused on filming while also being present for my kids. Those cookies were incredible. I have to tell you, I need to get her recipe because they were so perfect. So kids were done. I was outside for, I want to say, about 2 hours, solid 2 hours with them. Got in the pool, decided to change, and then I wanted to rotate all of the dishes. I was getting very excited because my husband was on his way home and I wanted to get everything tidy and get dinner prepped. We're going to barbecue outside. It is such a beautiful day. And it was like one of those days where the kids and I had just the most perfect afternoon and I just couldn't wait to settle into a Saturday night with the family. So I want to tidy up the kitchen and then I'm going to also get everything cleaned up and then get dinner prepped. It felt so good to get the kitchen reset from lunch. I had a couple dishes I wanted to get done and to get just this whole area cleaned up before I started dinner. I love my Roborock. It had died somewhere in the house earlier that I went and found it and charged it, but the house was so dirty, especially when I make lunch with the kids. I always find that there's like exponential droppage, okay? And so I need the Roborock to come in because I did not want to waste this gorgeous day cleaning the floor, so I decided to just allow the Roborock to handle that. I love that. I always have it linked down below. Again, your time is your life. What you do with your time in small measure or large are going to inevitably become the patchwork of what your life is. And if you want to spend your life mopping your floor every day, more power to you. I don't. I want to go do other things. Like I said, I probably spend on average an hour and a half to 2 hours doing household items throughout the day, other than large projects. But you start the day tidy, end the day tidy, things like that. But the Roborock will honestly, it will vacuum your entire house and then mop it. I always just change the mop out. What I love about the tank is you can also put whatever type of floor cleaner you like, or you don't even have to. But I like to put in something nice. It always makes the house smell so clean, and it gives me a peace of mind that whatever gets tracked in from the outside gets cleaned up off the floor, at least on a daily basis. But then I do like to do a deep clean every now and then. But check that out. They also, Dreamy is another brand that we have. That's the one that I use upstairs. So you never see it in here because it's up there and I never show up there, but it works just as well. The Dreamy can actually, it films your house, which I find to be really creepy now that I'm thinking about it. Luckily, it only goes off during the day when no one's up there, but it's you can actually log into it and film. It like films around your house. So, and it can detect like things that needs to go around. It's pretty good. But now that I think about that, maybe I should. Anyway, I digress. Roborock, number one choice if you are looking for a robot vacuum. It is my favorite. But for me, I want to tidy up. Tonight, I wanted to barbecue. I'm still thinking about getting the Blackstone. I went to Osh to pick up the clippers that I was going to use in the yard until I realized that was way too much work for myself and I needed to call in reinforcements. At this particular moment in this video, the guys are in the backyard completely gutting my garden. Like could not be happier. But for me, I couldn't do it. It's a lot of work, and I didn't have the right tools to be able to rip those bushes out. So they're handling that. We're handling dinner. But anyway, I need to go back to what I was saying. The Blackstone. Okay. I need to know, is it intimidating to work with it in the beginning? Like, is it something that, every time I get air fryer or things like that, I feel like sometimes it can be really fussy and temperamental. Is it as easy that I can put our entire breakfast? I used 4 different pots and pans to use. Can I do all of that on the Blackstone? Do you have a link, or can you share with me the ones that you have that you love? I don't want to waste money. I don't like buying gadgets that I don't love. But I do see them online, and I think, like, I don't know. I love to work with cast iron. So for me, I think it would be a really great thing. I could have cooked this whole meal on there according to the internet, but I want to hear from you guys living the life with the Blackstone. What do you think? Is it worth the money? I'm really thinking about getting one. It was like $350 at Osh, which I think I'm assuming is a good price. They had another one that had an air fryer underneath it, and I'm not doing that. That's crazy. I don't even really like air fried food. But I just need to know, just the basic top one, is it worth it? And is it hard to kind of get used to working with it? I've read conflicting things, and I really want to be smart about it before I invest, $350 into something that may just become junk in the yard. I got dinner ready to go for the grill, and I have the house completely tidied. All the dishes have been changed out. So after dinner, it's going to be really, really easy to just throw dishes in there and keep the evening moving right along. I got the Robo-Rock cleaning so I can go sit out in the sun with the kids. The guys just finished in the backyard, and I thought it would be fun to throw on my house slippers. The house is looking very clean. I just wanted to give you guys a little overview on how nice everything looks. I'm going to be making a nice little pasta tonight. I can't remember if I filmed that or not. I think I did. It was very easy to make. I just throw olive oil, burrata, and tomatoes, and I stew it down to like a homemade quick pasta with a little bit of fresh basil, and it is so good. But let me take you out to the garden and show you what the guys did. Okay, guys. Look at this. I got so lucky the guys were available. I can actually get through here now. Oh, I forgot the pancakes. I had some leftover pancakes I was going to give the chickens. They trimmed back this one and this one. It looks perfect. And now I have room for probably 1, 2, 3, 4. I have all 4 birdie beds can go here. These herbs I can move over here. Look how amazing. They cleaned all of this out for me. It's never looked like this. This is so beautiful. So I might move these beds. Maybe I'll put them here because they don't get any sun. But they don't get a lot of sun. Hazel's looking happy. I cannot believe I have all this space. It like doubled in size. I can't believe we didn't think to do that sooner. Wow, that's just incredible. We're able to get rid of everything on the side here and just clean all of this up. How are we doing, babies? How are you? Hello. Oh, somebody put you back. I bet Leo did. I bet he did. He probably came in and said, "You're not supposed to be out." Hi. Hello. Oh, you're all so cute and beautiful. You guys, this is like a dream come true. I cannot believe I have so much space out here. I cannot wait for the beds to arrive. I think I'm just gonna put them all there because there's enough room for it. And then we'll figure out what to put here. Maybe I'll move those. I don't know, but I'm excited. And we got our peppers in. I have some volunteer strawberries here. And then over here we have our first items. I have Thai dragon. I love those in my like Vietnamese and or like Thai salads and soups. We have habaneros, and I did Fresnos. Fresnos are great for making, actually habaneros and Fresnos are great for making homemade salsas or like hot sauce. It's very easy to make, but you need a lot of them. So, I mean, I would venture out to like, no, I'm not gonna say that. Okay, I'll say what I was thinking, but doing all peppers here, all tomatoes there. But then I just realized I don't have to. You know why? Because we have birdie beds coming. So, and I will link them down below. I think they're always linked down below if you guys are interested in the same ones. I'm using, I love them. They're exactly what I was looking for. Hi, you got a dirt bath? Good girl, Pumpkin. Look at these happy girls. It is about 3:30 and we are ready to chill for a little bit, and then we're gonna get barbecuing. Look how beautiful. Gosh, I didn't realize that was there. All of this got clipped back. Remember before it was like everywhere? Anyway, let's go inside. While we were sitting outside, the Roborock little alarm was on my phone saying that it was out of water, so I wanted to just show you guys what it looks like. All you have to do is you dump out the dirty water, you fill back up the clean water. I'm putting in hot water just because it's running right now, so I figured I'd give it a little extra clean. And then I always put in a little floor cleaner. It smells so good. And the dirty water that comes out of this thing is legitimate. Like, it does a very, very good job. And I will show you at the bottom. You always want to, when you dump it out, always make sure you get some like hot water or spray like a little bleach in there, because it kind of it rests at the bottom here. It's always super gross. So just giving it a quick wipe and then let it go do its job again. I do notice if you do leave the water in here for too long and don't run it, it will. This is the worst part. This is one piece of advice I give you if you're going to get a Roborock. If you leave the water in there and don't run it all the time, the water will actually smell like mildew. And then when it cleans your house, your whole house will stink. So just make sure you keep her working full time. Now that we have the house all tidy, it's time to start dinner. I am going to clean everything out of the sink, get things prepped. We had some reggae going on tonight, which is always kind of like a fun thing when the pool is hot, the kids are all outside, my husband's home, we're barbecuing. I love to have some good music. So for me tonight, the only thing I was in charge in was making pasta. So I decided to do a very simple pasta, which I love to make, which is just a little bit of olive oil, some fresh garlic, and then I always throw in cherry tomatoes. I stew those down for about 15 minutes. Remember, I am always low and slow here. Well, that had 15 minutes. I was trying to catch the Timberwolves and the Warriors game. I was so bummed the Warriors lost. I'm a Bay Area girl, so that was kind of a bummer, but I was excited for the Timberwolves, but I was doing a little editing, watching the game, and then I jumped up because it was time to add in the pasta. So for this pasta, before you add in the pasta and you want some of that wet pasta water, add in your burrata, cook all that down, and then you throw in the pasta. It's so perfect, so simple. It's one pan and it's so delicious. My husband was on the barbecue and tonight's dinner was so easy. I cannot wait to show you how it turns out. After the sun goes down, I always put on my sweatpants. Again, things I don't typically show here, but the kids and I are all watching the game, and my husband just came in with everything from the barbecue. Our pasta's ready. We're gonna sit down and eat as a family, and I'm gonna call this the end of today's video. First and foremost, I want to thank you for being here on my channel and for enjoying the journey of motherhood with me. Thank you for honoring my decisions of not sharing so much of my life with you guys, but sharing the parts that I feel are most applicable to getting motivated to do the special things for our families, because really at the end of the day, when we're in the rocking chairs at the end of our lives, that's all that really matters. I hope today's video brought you a little bit of enjoyment, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Bye.